Last 14 years, Showtime has brought you some of the most exciting and memorable moments in boxing. As we head into the new millennium, some of our most imposing warriors now find themselves at the crossroads of their careers, including three-time world champion Johnny Tapia.
Tapia suffers his first defeat in 49 fights and loses the WBA bantamweight.
Following that loss, Tapia is out to prove that he can continue his success into the 21st century. Tonight, he takes a giant step in that direction as he challenges smart and savvy champion Jorge Elecier Julio for the WBO bantamweight title. Welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Tonight our coverage comes to you from a basketball hotbed known as the Pit, here on the beautiful, sprawling campus of the University of New Mexico. But this evening, hoops will take a back seat to boxing with charismatic three-time world champ Johnny Tapia, returning to his roots. In our main event, two-time world champion Jorge Elecier Julio puts his WBO bantamweight title on the line against the aforementioned #1 contender Johnny Tapia. But first up, you'll see former world heavyweight champion Frans Botha in his first action since the disputed draw with Shannon Briggs as the man called the White Buffalo takes on Steve Panell. We'll also bring you highlights of two bouts which took place earlier this evening featuring Danny Romero and Rodolfo Blanco and up-and-coming super middleweight Omar Shika against former world champion Simon Brown. They're already going wild here as we bring you inside to this subterranean arena home to the Fighting Lobos of New Mexico tonight. The fans are here mainly to see local favorite Johnny Tapia as he looks to fight his way back on top to another world title. A new all-time state attendance record for boxing is expected. Capacity is 18,000, in excess of 12,000 already on hand, as Johnny Tapia hopes to extend his hometown winning streak to 15 in a row. Bedlam. Hello again, everybody. Steve Albert ringside. Happy New Year as we bring in the new millennium here on Showtime Championship Boxing with a big doubleheader. The focus, of course, here in Albuquerque on Johnny Tapia as he looks to bounce back following his first loss. A very close decision to Paulie Ayala in June for the WBA bantamweight title in what was voted the fight of the year for 1999. You can already hear the chants of Johnny. Now, as a result, there are several questions surrounding Tapia. #1, can he rebound in his first fight since suffering his lone pro defeat? Is the confidence and the fire still there? Will he come out too pumped up and make a mistake against a skilled seasoned pro like Jorge Julio, or will he be able to control his emotions? And will he start fast against the slow starting champion? Hopefully, those questions will be answered by the end of the night. Tonight, Johnny Tapia will try to break back into the heights of the bantamweight division of boxing. His target is Colombian Jorge Elecier Julio, a classy quality champ who's won the WBO belt since July '97. Aggressive southpaw Paulie Ayala, who won that controversial decision over Tapia, currently controls the WBA. Another exciting southpaw, undefeated Tim Austin, the IBF champion, while perhaps the least known of all the 118-pound title holders, Virapol Sahaprom of Thailand, heads up the WBC. And with that, let me bring on my ringside partners. First, the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. And Ferdy, is this the crossroads of a career for Johnny Tapia?
I wouldn't use the word crossroads, a little strong, because he's so highly regarded nationally and internationally. Even if he lost, he'd still make a bundle of money fighting. But it is a crossroads in that he wants to go up into the higher divisions, bigger money, bigger fights. It's a crossroad in the sense that he needs this to progress on to bigger paydays. He does.
All right, let's move over to our other partner, Bobby Chez. Bobby, is Julio catching Tapia at the right time?
You know, Steve, some of the experts might argue that Julio is catching Tapia at exactly the right time. He's coming off his first and only loss and maybe slipping just a little bit. Maybe he's just a little past his prime. But you know what? There's nothing more dangerous than a fighter who's got something to prove. And tonight, that's Johnny Tapia. Not just to his hometown fans, but to the boxing world. He wants to get back in. I think it'll be more dangerous than ever. I think it's the worst time for Julio to catch Tapia.
This has all the elements of a very, very exciting night. For more on tonight's main event, let's go over to Jim Gray. Jim.
All right, thank you very much here in the hometown locker room with Johnny Tapia. Johnny, how do you view tonight's fight? Is this a do-or-die situation? Is there a sense of urgency for you here tonight?
Oh, by all means, knowing that the WBO is on top of the line of this, it's a title shot. I don't have one now, so I have to get it.
Are you concerned of how you might react going back into the ring after the loss to Ayala?
No, because I got a good trainer and a good corner. In my corner, I got good corner people. They know how to settle me down.
How do you avoid remaining settled down and not too pumped up as you've seen and as we've seen you be here in Albuquerque?
The experience will kick in right there and then. I'm a veteran right now at this game, and I should know what to do when it's time to do it.
Will we see something new, something different, you were saying before we came on, than what we saw against Ayala?
To tell you the truth, I want to show people what I'm really all about. I can slug and I can box, and I want to show the world that what I can do is right.
Steve, he said he hasn't had New Year's, hasn't had Christmas. In fact, Johnny Tapia just told me Christmas is tonight. Merry Christmas. Good luck. Out to you, Steve.
All right, Jim, yes, Johnny Tapia may have a competitive spirit unmatched by any athlete in any sport. As usual, for you Showtime subscribers with internet access, we once again invite you to judge every round of every fight online. Log on to show.com and link to the boxing area. Once there, you can vote for the fighter you think is winning the round. Your entry will be added to those of other participants and instantly update the scoring webpage. The results will also be announced and shown here live on Showtime during the event. Of course, your voting is for entertainment purposes only and will not influence the outcome of the fight. Once again, the web address, sho.com. Let's get to it. We close in on our first bout. Former IBF heavyweight champion Francois Botha, rated number 11 by the WBC, takes on unrated Steve Panell. Here is relatively unknown Steve Panell, a journeyman fighter turned pro in '91. He's lost his last 3, all by second round knockout. Stopped in the second, his last fight by another journeyman, Ed Mahone. The other losses to Vladimir Klitschko and then number 3, Hasim Rahman, down 3 times in that fight. Among the other 3 defeats, a 4th round knockout loss to John Ruiz, the WBC #1 contender. He's fought some tough fighters, and some might call him a professional opponent. And we check out South African Francois Botha off the controversial majority draw against Shannon Briggs in August. I thought Botha won. As it turned out, he would have lost had all 3 judges not scored the last round. 10-8 for him. He destroyed Briggs in that round. He's off 2 high-profile fights in '99. The other, of course, with Mike Tyson, a fight Botha was winning until a dramatic 5th round KO. Often Botha is underestimated. Ferdy, is Botha's biggest concern here not to underestimate his opponent?
He certainly is. He's got to be completely tuned up and on fire because the coming year is golden for him. But he's got to get past a guy like this. A guy like this shouldn't even be fighting as a heavyweight. He's been knocked out 3 times. If he can't get past this guy, you know, he's worth nothing. So Botha's got to look real good. That's what we're looking for, a good, fast opening by Botha.
A guy whose stock rises when he doesn't win. The Michael Moore fight, another example. Let's check the numbers. Botha 31, Panell turns 31 next month at 6'4". Panell has a 2-inch height advantage. Both a few pounds lighter than his last fight. Panell 231.5 and a 3-inch reach advantage for Botha. The key rules: no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, it's a technical draw. If it happens after the end of round 4, they go to the scorecards. So here at the pit at Albuquerque, getting ready for Francois Botha versus Steve Panell. Let's get the formal introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the pit here in beautiful Albuquerque, New Mexico, as we have a big night of action in store for you, and it's all brought to you courtesy of Frank Warren's Sports Network in association with Showtime Championship Boxing and Budweiser, the undefeated, undisputed king of beers. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we present a heavyweight special attraction, the big boys of boxing in the ring, scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside, all from New Mexico, from Las Cruces, Rocky Burke, from Albuquerque, William Gant, also from Albuquerque, Russell Mora, and introducing to you our referee in charge of this bout. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Merv Nephew. All right, fans, here we go. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks with gold trim, he is fighting out of Nashville, Tennessee. He weighed in at 231 1/2 pounds. His record stands at 33 wins and 6 losses, with 27 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Steve the Storm Panell. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner in this 10-round attraction, wearing white trunks and now fighting out of Newport Beach, California. He weighed in at 229 3/4 pounds. His record stands at 39 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 1 no contest, with 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former IBF heavyweight champion of the world, known as the White Buffalo, introducing Frans Botha. Once again, a referee in charge, Merv Nephew, now to give instructions. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled.
Red corner, come here. All right, I gave you both the instructions in the dressing room. All I ask is you obey my commands at all times. If you're caught and chopped up, if your hands are clear, punch out. Any question?
None.
Any question? Get it on.
Final instructions from referee Merv Nephew. How about our keys to victory, Bobby? First for Francois Botha.
Well, both of the shorter man's got to close the gap and get to the inside. When he gets there, work that body with power shots. Slow the big man down, and also the good overhand right. Panell has shown a suspect chin.
How about Panell?
Panell's got to use a strong jab, and he has one. Also, keep a good pace. We've seen both the tires they get in the later rounds if the pace is quick, and also box smart from the outside. He's got the legs, the height, and the reach, the jab. He's got to use them.
As we've observed on several occasions, Botha, while methodical and lulling, can be effective and tricky. He is very game and fights bravely. Bobby, do you see anything in Panell that would indicate that he could win tonight?
Well, he has a real good jab, and if he uses it and keeps both at range, I was just going to say, he's also got a sneaky, quick, and pretty strong right hand.
Yeah, can he dictate the pace and outbox Botha with will his questionable chin hold up? He averages only 2.3 rounds per fight, Panell. He's been past the 4th only twice, went 10 rounds just once. Again, worth repeating, his last 3 all by 2nd round knockout, all losses.
We saw a perfect example when Botha fought Briggs. Briggs 6'4", height, reach, power, strength, youth, but Botha's heart was just too big. His will to win just achieved so much in that fight. If Panell folds like that, Botha will eventually run through him. He does have the heart, and he is that tough.
Well, I think in your, I agree with your points of victory, except for one thing, the chin, and that you can't diagram. He's trying hard, but not landing.
Panell going for the early finish here, climbing all over Botha.
He hurt Botha with a good right hand, Steve. He hit him in the temple, and now he's throwing a lot. He's going to be tired.
Panell just flailing away, and he is just going to punch himself out.
Well, I guess he figures he didn't want to get around round 2. There he goes.
Oh, and he hangs on to the left foot of Francois Botha. So after that wild display by Panell, he hits the canvas at the 1:15 mark of round 1. He gets up at 9.
Well, he had his moment. He came out and tried, and then he, in 1 minute, eats a right hand.
And down he goes again. A reckless Steve Panell down for the 2nd time.
Another overhand right. Steve Panell's shown a very bad susceptibility to that right hand and a suspect chin.
The crowd reacts. No 3 knockdown rule. Oh, a heavy right followed by a left tuck. And Botha climbs right on Panell. A minute left in round 1. Can Panell get through the opening round?
Panell's not using a jab. This time a left hook, Steve.
And it's over. The referee, Merv Nephew, Tapia jumps in. There was no 3 knockdown rule, but in his opinion, he says forget about it. And a wise decision.
When a guy comes in, knocked out 3 different times in the second round, what else can you expect? I mean, can you expect a great fight? No. He came out, he did the best he could in the first minute, and it's over after that. Send in your resignation. This guy was never going to have a chance.
Panell's record reads for itself, Freddie. You've knocked me out or I'm knocking you out, and that's the end of it. We're not going the distance too often, if at all.
This ain't going to be a dance.
Panell's history, every time he steps up in quality of opposition, he gets in trouble. And Steve Panell loses this evening to Francois Botha, who told us after this he would like WBO champ Vitaly Klitschko in April, then perhaps Lennox Lewis or Mike Tyson again. Of course, the heavyweight division in chaos these days. Ironically, there is a unified champion. And I know that you think perhaps the best heavyweight out there is a guy who just got out of prison.
You know, I really do. I've watched this game a long time. I've been in it. I think Ibeabuchi has a great combination of power, of speed, of endurance, and of toughness, and all-around ability. And even both themselves said, you know what? If I win a world title, that's who I want to fight, because I think he's the best heavyweight besides myself. And I'll tell you what, that's admirable of both.
The problem is to stay out of jail, and that's a big problem. Big with this guy.
And as soon as Lewis Grant is signed, it could start a flurry of lawsuits because of all the #1 contenders like Ruiz, Tua, and Akinwande.
We're going to take a look at that knockdown, and it's a good, solid right hand. Botha has his best punch. It's on the back of the, sort of by the temple, by the ear. That's, he's looking at him holding his leg. That's Botha's signature shot, the overhand right. Just watch, it's right over the top of the jab, right by the back of the ear temple. That's the second knockdown. The third knockdown is the left hook. He hits him with a right hand. Panell stays up. And as Botha comes in, he hits him with a left hook. And that's pretty much it. That didn't look like a lot of a left hook. It looked like a glancing blow.
Yeah, it's just he didn't have anything left, Bobby. Anything he'd hit him with, he'd gone down. Anything. He had nothing left. It was not a good workout for Botha, but it's a step forward into what he wants, which is the tall cotton where the good fights are, and he deserves them. He always gives a good show. Botha always gives a good show. He's got heart, he's got strength, and he's always in some dramatic fight. So I'm for him going ahead.
And a lovely new hairdo.
Yeah, I love the color.
The white buffalo.
It goes with his robe. You know, I asked him if that was really a white buffalo, and he said no, that was a seat cover on a Cadillac that he once stole in South Africa.
That's nice. Well, he ups his record to 40 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw with the 1 no contest, 25 knockouts. Pads his record with a win over professional opponent, journeyman, whatever you want to call him, Steve Panell, who drops to 33-7. So where does Botha turn next? He now manages himself, which can sometimes be a mistake, but he told us a fight with unified champ Lennox Lewis could occur. He said he'd like Michael Grant, but it's been reported, as mentioned, that Lewis will fight Grant next. That could happen within the next 48 hours officially. As mentioned, he could fight Vitaly Klitschko, the WBO
I think that's
champ.
where he's going to go. I mean, the traveling Alp is being groomed for bigger fights. He'd have to get past him to get into real good fights. I'm not so sure that he could get past both of them. That tall German we saw fight the other day is not that
It'll be
good.
interesting to see. Haven't seen him hit. Haven't seen him physically
Tested.
abused a little bit and really tested. That's what we need to see. What does he have when he really comes to the mat?
It would be an interesting match.
Let's
Interesting
get
crossroads.
the official reading from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 8 seconds in round #1. Our referee in charge, Merv Nephew, stops the contest with the 3 knockdown rule in effect. The winner by way of knockout, the white buffalo, Francois Botha.
So there you have it, Francois Botha with an easy victory in the first round over journeyman Steve Panell. And it's interesting, during the replays, the fans were chanting in unison, Johnny, Johnny. They can't wait to get Tapia into this ring in just a few minutes.
And neither can we, because that is the fight of the night. That's what we're waiting for. That's a blazer.
And yes, indeed, coming up next, our main event, Johnny Tapia returning to Albuquerque in quest of his 4th world title as he takes on Jorge Elecier Julio for the WBO Bantamweight Championship. We go into the dressing room of the champion, Jorge Elecier Julio, who says he's changed everything for this fight, his training, his diet. Colombian, who fought for the 1988 Olympic team in Colombia, believes a win here in Tapia's hometown will get him the celebrity status he craves. he has been willing before to fight in an opponent's backyard. In fact, he knocked out Puerto Rican challenger Daniel Jimenez in Bayamon in '98. His only defeat to Junior Jones in '93. All right, we're set for post-fight reaction from our opening bout. Let's go to Jim Gray in the ring. Jim.
All right, thank you, Steve. Frans, was this simply to keep active here tonight? Is that why you were fighting this man?
Almost definitely. You know, I got a lot of big things coming. There's talks with my promoter, Mr. Frank Warren, that we want to fight. It might be Mike Tyson again, or it might be Klitschko, the WBO champion. And in order for me to be a success in fighting any of those two guys out there, you know, you got to stay active. And
but this really didn't prove much, did it? If anything?
No, it really doesn't prove anything. You know, it's just that I got to stay active. I don't want to go back to the time when I fought Michael Moore, where I was inactive for one whole year. I want to at least stay active, so I'm getting used to the ring.
You're in a rather difficult position because you are competitive enough and good enough to cause a lot of problems in this division. So the people who are on the top or near the top may not want to fight you because just exactly that reason. So where do you go from here? I mean, what would be the reason for Mike Tyson to fight you again? He beat you in 5 rounds, but there was a little trouble for him. So what would be the reason for him to jump in the ring with you again?
You know what? If it wasn't for that, I mean, Tyson was fought every round. I couldn't lose a fight no more. So, you know, but I made a mistake. Tyson is a strong puncher. He's a heavyweight champion, former heavyweight champion, and you know, I just made a mistake. I got too aggressive, where I should have just put on my thinking cap and moved around. But I want to prove to the whole world that, you know, I am the best heavyweight out there, and I think I proved it against Mike Tyson. I proved it against Michael Moore, which I lost. My 2 losses, I basically see as wins for me because I was winning both fights until, you know, the unfortunate happened.
And then a draw with Briggs. Congratulations to you tonight. We look forward to your next fight, Frans.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Steve.
All right, Jim and Francois, the reason there was a delay, there was some discussion that there might be a 3 knockdown rule. Of course, it was immaterial. Fight should have been stopped anyway, but the referee in his mind may have thought that there was a 3 knockdown rule, so he automatically stopped the fight on that 3rd knockdown. But there is no 3 knockdown rule, as we reported. Before we get to that first main event, earlier tonight, Omar Shika, climbing the ranks of the super middleweight division, took on the venerable former world champion Simon Brown. Let's take a look at the highlights as we pick up the action. Round 1, the 22-year-old Shika out of Patterson, New Jersey, the right of your screen, had his way throughout, jumping on the 36-year-old 2-time world champion right at the start. Brown in trouble on the ropes. Shika wouldn't let up. Shika's domination just continued. It raged on with his best round in round number 6. Shika again with a barrage of punches, you'll see. And Brown going down from a right uppercut, the only knockdown of the fight. Brown did fight back bravely, but clearly his best days are behind him. Omar Shika, the convincing unanimous decision, goes to 19-1, is WBO champ. Joe Calzaghe next. Then Danny Romero, one-time arch rival, now close friend of Johnny Tapia, that former flyweight champ. Rodolfo Blanco, 56 seconds into the fight. Romero brought the crowd to its feet with a resounding left hook to the body. It was all over. 25-year-old Danny Romero of Albuquerque to 36-3-1 with 32 knockouts. Next wants 122-pound champ Nesta Garza, who represents the WBA. As we close in on our marquee matchup here at the pit, here's a reminder. Exactly 3 weeks from tonight, we'll be in Manchester, England, to bring you the latest in the continuing saga of former undisputed heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. His first fight since his latest controversial incident versus Orlin Norris back in October. Tyson will meet the British heavyweight champion Julius Francis.
A ferocious Mike Tyson. That's all it took. One shot, he may not get up. It's over. It's over.
Mike Tyson returns to the ring. Not on pay-per-view. Only on Showtime. Mike Tyson versus Julius Francis. Saturday, January 29th at 10. Only on Showtime.
Hope you can join us from across the Atlantic from Mike Tyson's European debut. Right now, we're a long way from jolly old England. Our location, Albuquerque, New Mexico, the home of Johnny Tapia. And tonight it'll be a rah-rah college basketball environment as the enthusiastic fans will serve as 6th man for their beloved favorite son. They're already making a lot of noise. And coming up next from the pit, our main event, the champion Jorge Elecier Julio steps into Johnny Tapia's noisy backyard in defense of the WBO bantamweight crown. Tapia's 17th world title fight, unbeaten more than 12 years before the loss to Paulie Ayala. Julio unbeaten in over 6 years, 16 straight wins. June 26, 1999, Las Vegas, Nevada. Johnny Tapia versus Paulie Ayala for Tapia's WBA bantamweight title. The fight of the year. However, it was Tapia's first loss in 49 fights. Can he rebound from his first career setback? Tapia relived the moment and put it all in perspective.
It wasn't a thinking fight. It wasn't a smart fight, but it was a beautiful fight. The way we did it, every round we got it on. It's just a beautiful, beautiful fight.
When WBA bantamweight champion Johnny Tapia met highly regarded #2 contender Paulie Ayala, many ringside observers believed it would be a tactical battle between two skilled technicians. Instead, they were treated to one of the year's most memorable brawls.
What a slugfest. The action just won't let up.
I could have boxed and stuck and moved, but I love what I was doing in there.
Toe-to-toe in the center of the ring.
It was so emotional in there that none of us thought what we were doing.
One of the best.
This has got to be a candidate for fight of the year.
With the contest so close and so difficult to score, eyebrows were raised by the one-sided decision.
All three in favor of the winner and the new WBA bantamweight.
The world got shocked. It was the shockiest feeling ever in my life. I don't know how they called it a unanimous decision, but I know you had two warriors give it their all, and it was a beautiful fight.
How does a fighter respond after the first loss of his career? With illusions of their invulnerability shattered, some quickly deteriorate. Others, however, become stronger, tougher, and more determined.
I feel lost without my belt. I have my belt for so many years, but you can never keep a good man down. I've been through too many wars out in the streets and everywhere else and made myself come back. So I want to be a bigger and better man by getting my belt back.
Well, there's no question Tapia versus Ayala was one for the books, but what about the decision? Were you at all surprised by the scores? Two of the three judges had it 116 to 113 Ayala. Seemed a lot closer, didn't it? Why, many even no doubt had it a draw. Others still perhaps viewed it as a win for Tapia. But clearly the fight was so compelling, almost any decision would have been acceptable. We turn back to Bobby Ches. Bobby, so many fighters think they're invincible. What's it like after that first career setback? How does that feel?
We know not many fighters think they're invincible right off the bat. From when you first start out, it's one of those things where after 20 wins, 30 wins, 40-plus wins like Johnny Tapia had, that you start to think, I can't be beat. I'm invincible. And sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it's not. By a fighter's nature, we like to think that we can beat everybody. Now, what happens with that first loss is one of two or three things, Steve. Some fighters fold. They just lose their confidence. They never become the fighter that they could have been had they still had that confidence. Other fighters obsess over that loss, and they stay good, but they never get to great. And other fighters, it takes the pressure off. Okay, I lost. Let's get on with it and get back to my winning ways. That's what Johnny Tapia is going to do tonight.
Seems like you just gave the keys to victory for the Botha fight, doesn't it? But how about the keys to victory for the main event?
Well, I'll tell you what. The keys to victory for the champion Julio, he has to keep Tapia moving backwards. He has to stay aggressive with punches, and a good overhand right, that's a signature punch. Here you have Julio on the right. He's always applying pressure. He's coming in. Here he comes in, goes to make a move, doesn't even throw. Then he throws the left that doesn't even land, but the overhand right is right on the temple. We watch here, he misses the left hand, but that right hand and Jimenez is all but out. And Johnny Tapia, he has to use that incredible speed he has and use it in multiple combinations. He does it so well and box smart, not just from the inside, but also from the outside. Here we see Tapia, he's on the outside. He uses a perfect example of smart boxing inside. He works a right uppercut underneath, right hook, switches over to southpaw. As we watch, he'll turn Ayala, there's the uppercut, switches to southpaw, throws the right hand. Now as he's a southpaw, he's gonna double jab with the right hand and throw a beautiful left cross that lands very clean on Ayala and move out so he cannot be countered. Smart boxing on the outside. This is what Johnny Tapia must continue to do.
Oh, Bobby, as you know, Johnny Tapia energized by the prospect of recapturing a world title in front of family, friends, and fans from the town in which he was born and raised. Tonight, a rare occurrence as Tapia enters first. Nevertheless, ever the showman, he has a fancy production in store. Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr. to get things rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, prepare to welcome the boxers as they make their way to the ring for this, our main event of the evening. First, please welcome the challenger, the three-time world champion, the sensational pride of Albuquerque. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Johnny Tapia.
Tapia, who thrives on the outpouring of support and emotion from his hometown fans. A final prayer. A hug for Danny Romero, who won earlier tonight. Back to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the two-time world champion from Colombia and the defending WBO bantamweight champion of the world, introducing Jorge Elecier Julio.
Title defense for Julio. Very cool and confident despite the hostile environment. One loss in 43 fights to Junior Jones in '93, who's going to fight Prince Nassim Hamed in London. This guy's a big banger who usually makes terrific fights. Also shows good boxing sense. But we've seen him look either very good or very bad. Some felt he didn't deserve his title win over Oscar Maldonado in '97. Last March, in a tremendous fight, he won a split decision over tough southpaw Julio Gamboa to retain the title. I thought this Julio lost. He's a two-time champion, also won the WBA bantamweight belt. And Fernie, Julio tends to break slowly from the gate. Can he afford to start slowly in this one?
I don't believe anybody's going to start slow in this fight. This is the kind of fight where both men are so supercharged up. They want to put some hurt on the other guy, want to get attention. I don't think either one can afford to or can get to a point where he's slow. As they say, when you're drawer to drawer with somebody, you got to shoot craps.
Tapia's career a saga of triumph and tragedy. The one constant has been his ability to win big fights. Tonight again, as he tries to wash away the bitter taste of his first defeat by winning another title. And we'll see if Julio's opponent here, Johnny Tapia, can harness that energy and guard against being too keyed up, which could result in a costly mistake against Jorge Julio. Let's size him up as we check out the tail of the tape. Johnny Tapia turns 33 next month. Julio is 30. The height almost even, both just under the 118 weight limit. But Tapia's trainer Freddie Roach said Johnny would be 130 by fight time. Slight 1-inch edge in reach for Julio. Key rules: no standing 8, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th, the fight's a technical draw. After the end of round 4, the scorecards. So here at the pit, we're getting ready for our main event. Jorge Julio versus Johnny Tapia. The WBO bantamweight title at stake. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico, we welcome you to our featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Frank Warren's Sports Network in association with Showtime Championship Boxing and Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers. This world title bout coming away is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, President and Supervisor Francisco Valcarcel, along with the New Mexico State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Louis Burke. Commissioners Leo Dow, Jim Lilly, Sandy Martinez Pino, and Joanna Aguilar. The executive director, Ricardo Campos. The coordinator is Larry Casillas. Position at ringside, Dr. David Macias. Timekeeper at the bell, Melissa Saiz. Keeping count of the knockdowns, J1 Marlowe. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring the bout from ringside. First from Madrid, Spain, we have Manuel Maritzalar. From Las Cruces, New Mexico, Levi Martinez. And from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Jose Rivera. Introducing to you our referee in charge of this bout, the 3rd man of the ring working this is 15th world title bout, Mike Ortega. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Bantamweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Albuquerque, it's showtime! Introducing to you first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, proudly representing his hometown of Albuquerque, New Mexico. He weighed in at a ready 117 3/4 pounds. His record stands at 46 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws with 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Currently ranked the WBO #1 contender. Here is the 3-time world champion, the pride of Albuquerque, the man they call Mi Vida Loca, introducing Johnny Tapia. His opponent across the ring is the defending world champion. On my right, fighting out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing the colors of his home country, red, yellow, and blue, fighting out of and representing Barranquilla, Colombia. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 117 3/4 pounds. His outstanding record stands at 42 wins, only 1 defeat, with 31 big wins coming by way of knockout tonight. Making the 4th defense of his title, here is the former WBA and current defending WBO Bantamweight Champion of the world, introducing Jorge Elecier Julio. Once again, a referee in charge, Mike Ortega, now to give instructions.
Gentlemen, we went over the rules. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Okay? Right here is good. It's a little high. Okay? Está bien. Aquí arriba está bien. Aquí arriba está bien. Okay? Right here, from here up is good. All right? Pero una pelea buena, limpia. Okay? Buena suerte a los dos. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up. That's it.
Remember, Tapia shoved Paulie Ayala before that fight. Very emotional. Jorge, Julio, and Johnny Tapia. Will Tapia be smart and elusive as he was in victory over Danny Romero? Will he go toe-to-toe to prove he can outpunch Julio as he did when he lost to Paulie Ayala? Jorge Julio saying he prayed to God for a long time to fight a big name like Tapia. He dearly wants to win here in Albuquerque to make a name for himself. And Freddie looked like he was doing a little praying there in the corner.
I thought he was doing a mantra. He was chanting to himself. He did start at the dressing room and went all the way. Very good-looking kid, smiling. Looks like Blair Underwood used to look when he was a very young actor. A very good-looking kid.
Very cool and composed. And here we go.
I'll tell you, when we talked to him in the interviews, he said, "I respect Tapia as a person, but not as a fighter. He has nothing for me to respect. I'm better in all aspects." Even saying that he was quicker on top of everything else, which I thought was Johnny Tapia's biggest trait.
Tapia says his game plan was to stay on the outside and box. Stay focused, somehow tune out the crowd, stay composed. He is so motivated, aside from trying to please his wife and himself. He wants to show that you can lose the title and come back to win a title again. He told us he won't do anything unusual unless Julio does something dirty.
He threw a good hook and a right hand right after it. They've been at a range where they're not really connecting right now. But it is Tapia on the attack. However slight it is, he is on the attack.
Biggest thing he learned from the Ayala fight, he didn't stick with his game plan. Got yelled at by Freddie Roach, his trainer.
When you look in the eyes of Tapia, he is extremely focused. You can see it's almost like he's in a trance.
But that is Tapia. You know, when they say they try to cool down the fight, but that is him. He is one of those out-of-control guys when he gets going, and he can't be stopped. Not Freddie Roach, not anybody. Not Angelo Dundee can stop him. He goes, he goes.
And the wait for this fight, says Johnny Tapia, was agonizing. He is so happy that that first bell has rung.
Well, he weighs 130 pounds. Oh, nice right hand.
Good straight right hand that got through the defense of Julio. First good punch of the night. It's offered up by Johnny Tapia.
Julio talked about the fact that he thought his speed was going to be the biggest factor. And I think that's one place where he's at a disadvantage. Tapia's speed is better. I thought Julio's power may be a little better, but he just talked about his speed in the interviews. And also Tapia said if he doesn't stay focused, he could lose this fight the same way he did with Ayala.
They're both fairly strong. Tapia wants to move up to 122.
Another good right hand by Tapia, strong.
There's that jab, keeping that jab on the face of Julio is Johnny Tapia.
You see he's so quick in, and then he's out. There's nothing to hit but air.
Tapia with all the spiritual tattoos on his back. Madonna, his mother who was murdered when he was only 8 years old.
Well, right off the bat, I'm wondering what Julio's waiting for. If he's going to fight this way, he's going to really get me in for whipping.
Julio, historically a slow starter. Now he comes forth with the jab.
But he's hitting air with that jab. He's not hitting anything with the jab. He's throwing it, but he's not getting it.
And now Tapia digging to the body with lefts.
Right now, Tapia also seems to be punching just a little stronger than usual.
Yeah, he looks like he's got a message in those punches. They've been very strong, very quick. There you go. Nice shot to the body, right in the middle.
A straight right to the belly by Johnny Tapia. What's out with those headbutts? You know the cutting history of Johnny Tapia.
But already,
both of them have a history of cutting. Here's the Tapia corner with Freddie Roach.
Beautiful. Deep breath. Watch this. One more. Okay, so you're very good out there. You're fighting smart, okay? Now, remember, keep that chin down, okay? Watch that headbutt of his, okay? Now, JT, the 1-2 is working beautiful for you. It's there for you, okay? Yeah, I want you to double jab and put the right hand right down the middle, okay? But here, keep using feints and boxing.
Johnny Tapia very focused early on, stalking Julio. Nice right hand, a 1-2. He wants to send a message early. He's punching harder than usual. Here comes the accidental headbutt. They come running into one another. And there they crash heads. That's just as clean and clear as it could be, but also in action.
Just like this.
And also 50-50.
Combination off to the side.
Tapia was
okay?
leaning in, and the other guy leaned in. I mean, how can you help that? I mean, that's one of those where both of them.
Keep it up.
Cuts. One of the problems for Johnny Tapia over the course of time, but he seems to do his best fighting after he begins to bleed. He's also had 20 broken noses in the ring.
Julio's come out now with what appears to be a new strategy, a little more movement forward, coming in with punches, seems to want to get busier quicker.
But maybe that first round was one of those feel-out rounds that they talk about, but he just blew it around for fun. He didn't fight.
That left hook just missing by Johnny Tapia. Julio taking a running leap into the body of Johnny. Tapia, a smart fighter, knows how to neutralize his opponent's strengths. He did that against Romero. He did that with Danny's power. He's got tremendous heart and desire, and his conditioning is tremendous.
Well, the tension is electric. You can feel it in this crowd. It's almost like you're just waiting for this guy to explode, do something. And yet, Tapia's beating him to the punch and taking the fight away from him.
Jorge Julio, his fourth title defense. He's won 16 straight.
See, clearly Tapia's moves, not just with his hands, but with his feet. His speed is going to be the difference in this fight.
Tapia boxing very well right now. And not only is he landing his, but he isn't getting hit in return.
Tapia, always aggressive, two-fisted fighter. Here's a straight right, a slashing right that missed. And the crowd erupts.
Julio has to put a little more pressure on, throw a few more punches, maybe draw Johnny into a little bit more of a slugfest, make Johnny lose his focus and his cool if he wants to do better.
Watch his shoulder. Eh? Okay.
And he must
watch his shoulder without from an elbow.
The warning to Tapia to watch the shoulder. Jorge Julio. Overall ability and talent, his strength, very aggressive, has power, usually very exciting. He is more than willing to take two to give one. He's had good quality of opposition,
Watch your head.
good stamina and strength.
Julio's also throwing one punch at a time. If he misses, he just locks in with Tapia, or Tapia's gone. He's not throwing 2 and 3 punches as he should.
Less than 30 seconds remaining in round 2, scheduled for 12 for the WBO Bantamweight Championship.
A nice overhand right by Julio. Caught Johnny on the ear.
Okay, watch your head.
Probably his best punch so far.
Referee says, watch your heads. They're banging heads in there. That's the first time I've seen him throw 3 punches together. It made sense.
So a little flurry at the end of the second round by the champion, Jorge Julio. But so far, the fight has been dominated by the challenger, hometown favorite, Johnny Tapia.
Sí, por favor. No perdimos. Porque esa que estoy diciendo la verdad, yo no te voy a decir mentiras. Dame agua, Brian. Atención, Elecier. Dame agua. La otra.
The fighter's saying, give me water, and they're saying, throw more than 1 punch.
No, está muy lento.
He says he's too straight. The fighter just said he's too straight.
Voy a salir de la atención. Tranquilízate, suavecito, como con cualquier otro, ¿ok? Como cualquier otro, pero estamos a dar golpes y ganar, ¿ok?
Just act like he's just anybody else, but be first. He's nothing special.
Físico está bien. Ok, Eliezer, tú primero. Eres más rápido.
You first, you're faster.
Vamos, saca protectores, combinaciones, ustedes muy bonitas. Todo atrás el jazz. Combinaciones, recíbelo pues ya, Eliezer.
Combinations and receive him when he comes in with a jab.
Tapia comes running out to start round 3.
Time.
Again.
Cuidado con la cabeza, okay? Cuidado.
Is he cut?
Watch the heads colliding. I even was able to make out what Mike Ortega said there. He was cautioning
Watch your shoulder. Watch your shoulder.
I'm hanging around you, Freddie, picking up some Espanol.
Listen.
All right. The action heating up right in the center of the ring. Julio coming forward. You can't get Tapia to back up.
This is the type of fight Julio needs to be in. He needs to be in going forward, punch out.
I don't know what he was waiting for, but he blew those first 2 rounds. This is what he should have been doing.
Julio, a hard-hitting Colombian champion, very proud and cocky. Is he good enough to take Tapia here on his home turf?
Porter said to him in the between rounds, he was a little too straight up. Straight up and down makes a bigger target for Johnny, head and body. It makes him harder for Julio to be offensive. He has to go into a crouch before firing.
Julio a lot more aggressive here in round 3 than in the first 2 rounds.
Well, he looks like a champion now. He looks like a guy who knows how to box, knows how to fight, and he wants to mix it up.
Tapia trying to go to the body, complaining of a headbutt again.
To head.
They banged heads again.
I mean, you see how much referee Mike Ortega will take before he starts to give warnings and take points.
In that instance, he just said, fight on. Left hook there, but a grazing blow by Tapia.
Now Johnny Tapia's being guilty of the same thing Julio has been for the past 2 rounds, one at a time, not combinations, which is his trademark.
The headbutts and the cutting, picking up the urgency now for Tapia. Oh, they came together again.
Come here. Come here.
It was equal.
Okay, mira. Voy a decir la última vez.
And now,
okay,
Mike Ortega looking to take charge.
Hope for you. Next time I'm going to take a point from somebody.
Okay, next time I'm taking a point from somebody.
Somebody, he said.
All due fairness, they both banged into each other. They both ducked put their heads forward.
All right, less than a minute to go in round 3.
Good round, good action round.
And headbutting becoming a big factor. Digging left hook by Johnny Tapia to the body. Nice jab by Tapia. Back comes Julio.
Boy, Julio is a different fighter this round.
How about the defense of Tapia? Comes back with 2 straight rights.
I think Tapia's having a little bit of trouble right now with some of the strength that Julio is displaying. He's showing that he's got some strength. Tall, thin, but strong.
But I'll tell you what he's done. What Tapia's done, he's not neglected the body. He has put in some very heavy body punishment here. As Julio comes in, he gets punished by hooks to the body. That's got to tell.
Julio with 31 knockouts and 42 wins. Big right hand on the head by Tapia towards the end of round 3. And then a left hook to the chin by Tapia. Oh, a combination to the head by Tapia that locks the champion at the bell.
Excellent, excellent round.
Okay, JT, nice deep breath, son. Take care. All right, JT, that was a good round here. Now here, Look your mouth, Johnny. Take it out. Johnny, listen to me. Okay, I want you.
We're going to take a look at the first of those butts. You watch now as these guys come to one another. As they're coming to one another, Tapia moves his head this way, and Julio comes this way. And watch, they just slam right into one another. They both duck and just bend over as we roll the tape. They just come into one another, head down, both of them, right into one another. They both just kind of crouch into one another. Julio, in that case, was going to the body. Here, you can see Tapia, same thing. He comes in head down. Julio puts his head down, and they slam into one another. That one was more Johnny's fault than it was Julio's.
Yeah, he came in like a football player just then. You'd think he had a helmet on.
3 headbutt incidents in round 3, and also the most inspired action of the night. Back comes Julio to open up round 4.
With 4 hammering hooks, 4 hammering hooks on the butt, driving him into the ropes. Tapia didn't seem to be bothered, but he sure shot some hard hooks.
This is the type of aggressive fight with the big punches that Julio needs to have. He needs to apply himself like this throughout the fight if he's going to be victorious.
Big left hook there on the shoulder, though, by Johnny Tapia. Didn't have that much impact on Julio.
Boy, Julio looks like a completely different fighter than the guy we saw in the first 2 rounds.
Got his wake-up call.
If you notice right before the end of the last round, Johnny Tapia threw a 1-2-3 to another 1-2 and staggered Julio. That's what he needs to do, the combination, doubling him up.
That was with about 7-8 seconds left in the 3rd round when he did that.
I hate to tell you, but that made it an even round for me. It was up to that point I was giving it to Julio.
Julio attempting the right uppercut, but it missed. And he misses with the left. So underrated is Tapia's defense.
Shot to the body. Whoa.
Great defensive movement by Johnny Tapia.
Tapia's a killer to the body. Boy. He just doesn't fall.
There was a straight left hand to the ribs by Tapia.
Yeah, he switched real quick and then turned southpaw for the left hand as a cross as opposed to his right.
Both fighters have been known to turn southpaw. Oh, a right uppercut on the chin by Tapia.
Nice, nice. Tapia moving beautifully away from the charge and then coming back with more.
But Julio's got a terrific chin. He seemed unfazed by it.
But he's hitting a lot of air right now, Steve. Tapia's doing what he's supposed to. He staggered Julio again.
A flurry there by the challenger, Johnny Tapia. Look at this foot movement by Tapia, the elusiveness, slipping and sliding.
We talked about multiple combinations being one of those keys. He throws a combination, comes right back with a follow-up, and Julio doesn't adjust.
Julio's not throwing to the body, and Tapia for nothing. Oh,
Straight right hand by Johnny Tapia.
A double straight right hand. I don't know if you know how hard it is to throw that cleanly.
Back comes Julio, though, but it's so hard to catch Tapia. He won't stop moving.
Tapia scoring, and Julio missing. That's what's happening.
Tapia looking extremely sharp. Whipping shots in to the head and body. Oh, what a right hand, but Julio answered back with a shot of his own.
And Julio's turned to southpaw now, but he's not doing good as a southpaw at all.
Cuidado con la cabeza, cuidado. Left right combination to the head by Johnny Tapia. Tremendous action here in round 4. Another right, a right cross to the left side of the head by Johnny.
Julio slowed down somewhat. This pounding is beginning to wear out Julio.
The bell to end round 4. What a round.
Wow.
Okay, son. Nice deep breath. You're looking good out there. Keep that boxing going, Johnny. Stay on your toes, okay? Remember, no slugfest with this guy, all right? Quick combination off to the side. Now you're moving away from the right hand. Beautiful. Keep that going, okay? You're frustrating him. He's starting to take chances, okay? But don't fall for it yet, okay? Keep frustrating this guy. You're winning every round out there. Keep frustrating this man. Side to side movement.
Probably Tapia's best round. He switched around to a lot of straight lead right hands. There as a southpaw, Julio not very effective at blocking him. That was a beautiful double right hand. Very hard to throw for an orthodox fighter. There's the right hand. He's landing that right hand probably more than that round he had the entire previous 3. That was just beautiful boxing, switching up, orthodox southpaw, under, over, inside, and that was beautiful.
Well, Freddie's advice is you've taken every round. Oh, nice overhand right. He looked like he's throwing a football in.
Julio begins the 5th round with a huge shot to the head.
He was going for the haymaker.
These two fighters, both champions, throwing plenty of punches, and they're both scoring.
Oh, nice uppercut by Tapia.
Here's the online scoring, and the folks at home having a shutout for Tapia.
I have a 3-1 for Tapia. I did give the 3rd round to Julio. I think it was more effective for much more of the round. That last 7-second combination wasn't enough to turn the round behind to Tapia.
I have a 3 for Tapia and 1 a draw.
Oh, Julio just walked into a straight left
Shotgun
hand.
jab, Steve. That was a power jab.
That'll get your attention. But Julio game. Brave just keeps coming forward. He's eating a lot of leather now to the body. Downstairs goes Tapia. He's mixing it up. Oh, what a beautiful countering left jab there by Tapia. Tapia glances over at the ref, thought he was pushed. Uh-oh, down goes Tapia as he's shut down by Julio. The crowd reacts.
1st and 10.
Right there.
Tapia says he's all right to the 3rd man in the ring, Mike Ortega, and continues. Minute 20 left in round 5. Julio steps up the pace.
Johnny hasn't been terribly effective in his round. Most of it moving defensive work. Julio starting to gain momentum a little bit.
And the crowd urging on the challenger. Julio continues to come forward, but Tapia is doing most of the damage.
It's almost as if Tapia's decided to take this round off a little from the fierceness of the first 4.
Tapia 46-1-2 with 25 knockouts. His 17th world title fight. 14-1-1. The only loss to Paulie Ayala, his last fight. Digging left to the body by Tapia.
Beautiful hook to the body.
Those are digging punches, digging. Look at this movement that get out of the corner.
And he jumps out and stuffs that jab again, a power jab.
Well, this is the best Tapia has looked in a long time.
Get him out, clean. Get him out.
Well, he's fighting very sensibly. That's one thing, like Freddie Roach wants him to. The craziness is gone. He's just fighting good.
Keep him up, John. Up.
He's harnessing his emotions and his energy and very cool and composed. Look at that slipping away.
Three-punch combination. Julio comes back with one punch.
Time.
All right.
Está bien. Está cansado él, ¿ok? Debe. No, toma. Yo te echo agua en la agua. Tómatela, tómate. Toma. Dame la otra agua. Dame la otra agua. Esa es nuestra pelea, Elecier.
Johnny Tapia doing what he does best. Hit and not get hit. Throws it, goes out of the way. Uppercut. Moves off. Backs out. Here again, right hand. Double right hand. Backs out. Working the jab. Body shots and out. Right uppercut. He knows how to hit and not be hit. Here's the little tackle. Tapia misses a punch, goes over the top, and kind of gets tackled by the champion Julio. That stuff happens.
Well, through 5 rounds, Johnny Tapia has been more successful than Jorge Julio in delivering on Bobby Chez's keys to victory. Tapia has been effective in shooting that left jab just as Julio has been coming forward. That has been a big key here tonight.
Well, you see, when Julio comes forward like this, he hasn't been able to a lot, but when he comes forward like this, that's when he's most effective, keeping Johnny back, moving back, and off balance. But Johnny's stuffing that jab and offsetting that beautiful.
He's fighting such an intelligent fight here, the challenger, Johnny Tapia.
He's keeping his head. That's what I like. He's working when he needs to work, and he's walking away from the rest.
He just got elbowed right in the face, too.
Yeah, Tapia just got elbowed, then he claims he was headbutt, top of the head. The referee is allowing Tapia, if you'll notice, to wear that belt real high.
I think his pants are just falling down, Steve, is what it is.
Yeah. Mike Ortega is being very kind. That was a bad elbow.
That was a straight forward elbow.
Tapia delivering a left hook, right uppercut by Julio. There's another elbow, claims Tapia by Julio. He's complaining to the referee, Ortega.
Well, maybe.
Beautiful overhand right, explosive, thundering right hand over the top by Tapia, and what's holding Julio up?
Yeah, you're starting to think, wait a minute, when's this guy going to start feeling a little of this? They're hard and they're off.
Understand too, Johnny Tapia's not a huge puncher. He's a combination puncher. He knocks you out by stinging you and following up with 5 or 6 shots before you clear your head. He's not a one-punch knockout artist.
For that, a resounding right hand.
Still, it's been a waterfall of punches on this guy, especially to the body. Something should be cutting off his energy.
But it's that beautiful jab by Johnny Tapia, who's putting on a boxing exhibition here. Julio again trying to draw forward with the left elbow. There's a jab by Tapia, 2 jabs. Back comes Julio with a combination to the head.
See, on the inside, Julio is able to impose himself on Tapia. He's able to impose his strength and his little bit of height advantage, using it.
Hitting on the break. Bad deal.
Yeah, Ortega, the referee, was coming in to break him up, and Tapia with a dirty tackle. That's a no-no.
Yeah. Well, this is getting to be a little dirty. There's been a lot of headbutting, elbows, now hitting on the break. Oh.
Well, Tapia said if Julio would get dirty, he'd get dirty. He feels that Julio's being dirty with the elbows. So he is countering with what we just saw.
Johnny Tapia's jab has kept him out of a lot of trouble tonight, because I still think that Jorge Julio appears to be the stronger of the two. They're connecting all over Tapia.
Now he's starting to lose.
Tapia losing his cool, and he throws the champion into the ropes.
He's been talking to him just then. He was talking to him just then, and he blew his cool just then.
All right, now things getting out of hand.
Now it's getting the other way.
Freddie Roach complaining to the referee now about the elbows by Julio.
Deep breath, take. How you doing, Johnny? Johnny, all right, let's go. You gotta go to 1-2 straight punches and off to the side, okay? Get off the ropes, okay? We don't have that round, okay? You're staying on the ropes too long, you're fighting his game. Okay, John, let's go quick 1-2 off to the side, okay? Side to side, turn him into punches. When you step, he'll follow you.
High, pull him down.
Elbows, Red. Elbows, Red.
Concentrado, no pierda la cabeza. No pierdas la cabeza.
Don't lose your head.
Presión, pero enseguida te va con los golpes de él.
Go with his punches.
Y presión.
Pressure, pressure.
Okay,
Don't lose your head.
Presión y pensar.
Pressure and think.
Lo mismo de ahorita, lo mismo los hoppers.
So you got to rattle. Pressure and think.
Halfway mark, unofficial scores.
Mine is 56-59 for Johnny Tapia.
I have it 58-56 for Johnny Tapia. 4 rounds to 2.
Champion probably needs to win about 5 of the final 6 rounds. If it goes to a decision, could be very tough to do here.
It was interesting, too, that Julio said he felt he had a better state of mind coming into this fight. Coming off the loss, Tapia, he felt it was a good time to catch him with his mental state down, as he put it.
Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, Steve, in between rounds, Mike Ortega, the referee, went over to Tapia's corner and told Tapia, quit complaining and just fight. Let me referee the fight. You fight. Steve?
Here comes Tapia. Thank you, Jim. Tapia unloading.
And Julio coming back. Julio coming back.
Keep him up. Julio with a left uppercut. There's a straight left hand by Tapia. Everybody's got answers. Julio trying to take Tapia out of his game. And it may be working because Tapia is starting to lose his cool here.
They have 2 common opponents. Both fighters beat those common opponents by decision, no knockouts. So these guys are definitely at a comparable stage in their lives.
Terrific matchup.
Well, that whole opening was even. Both men belabored each other, but they were equal. One guy got in a lot of shots, so did the other.
Here's a bullet straight right hand to the head by Tapia. Tapia then digging to the body with the left uppercut. Missing with the right and the left and the right. He missed with all those punches. The crowd react. There, that left hand made it though. A lot of punches being thrown by Tapia.
And you know what? He's being a lot more accurate. He's landing his shots much more cleanly. Julio's pressing, but he's not pressing as effectively as he needs to.
We approach the final minute of round 7.
Oh, another headbutt.
And Tapia complains again to referee Mike Ortega.
The referee keeps saying, quit complaining and let me referee. The other guy isn't complaining. They hurt equally.
And Julio just fights on. Timeout now being called.
Get in that corner. 1 point.
Oh, he's taking a point away from the champion.
Champion used the elbow on the inside again.
It wasn't the headbutt, it was the elbow he takes a point away for.
That could be big because as we were going along there, Tapia was just edging in and winning that round. Now if he wins the round and they take a point, big round. In a close championship fight, big round.
Less than 30 seconds left in the 7th. Boy, they're toe-to-toe in the center of the ring right here. Nobody's budging.
And the referee's saying, cuidado, meaning be careful, meaning don't throw that elbow.
Beautiful left uppercut right hand by the champion.
Yeah, right cross by Julio that landed beautifully. Tapia fighting back, combinations to the head. That was a 4-punch combination to the head by Tapia.
And 2 body shots before it hurt. Wow, big round for Tapia because of the taking away the point. Whoa.
Let's go inside the ropes with Bobby Ches.
Well, it's turned into a little bit of a foul fest. They've gotten a little out. Here's you'll see headbutt. Another headbutt. Another headbutt.
Wait.
A tackle. Elbow in the face. Another elbow, forearm, and a hit after the break. Foul fest ensues. Here's the elbow where the point got taken away. They get inside right here. You see, he clearly just swings it around and twice. So the referee had, if not once, he got two shots at it.
Well, it was obvious, blatant. Every round, though, Tapia's corner is cautioning him not to let Julio rush into him at the beginning of each round. They're also telling him to keep your chin down and stay on your toes. And here, just like the last few rounds, Julio comes rushing in on Tapia.
I think he feels some urgency now. I mean, this has been going on pretty evenly as far as this corner is concerned, but now he's had a point taken away.
Nice right hand by the champion there.
And that draws the oohs and ahs from the crowd. Look out now. Tapia rarely tipped off. Very upset at the tactics of Julio. Thought once again that he came in on purpose with the head. And he's got Tapia upset, and again he gets him out of his game. Oh, he rocked Jorge Julio with a shot. Julio is wobbled.
What he did, Steve, is step in with that big jab, and Julio walked right into it.
And he's trying to finish it. The heart of Julio. Tapia playing to the crowd. Going to the bodies, but back comes Julio to the body. What an exchange. Look at Julio coming back now.
Right now, I still feel, believe it or not, that Julio, after absorbing all his punishment, is the stronger of the two.
The crowd exhorting Johnny Tapia. Halfway through the 8th round. Scheduled for 12 for the WBO bantamweight belt. Tapia, the challenger, with a low blow there, but it was on the break.
Hitting on the break.
Yep, on the break.
He hit him twice on the break. Yeah. He asked him if it was all right. It was twice on the break.
Well, I didn't see any bowing back by Jorge Julio there.
Right about now, he's wondering why the point hasn't gotten taken away on the other side, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Julio having a point taken away for flailing an elbow earlier in the fight.
Although there is a clear difference between an accidental low blow and a blatant double elbow.
Did you see what Tapia's doing here now? He just slipped in the center of the ring, almost stumbled, and now he says he got hit in the cup. But he's trying to get back into his plan and trying to get back to boxing, but Julio won't let him.
He's starting to eat a few right hands, but the pressure is catching up and diminishing what Tapia's able to do.
Julio has turned things around here, and he's using any trick in the book to do it. And this thing could be getting closer all the time. Good shots being landed here by Julio on the inside. Back comes Tapia with a double left. Upstairs and down. And Ortega calls time, bringing the two together.
Okay, cuidado con tu esto. Okay.
Now they're both elbowing again.
The dirty tactics continue.
Mike Ortega did a Spanglish there. Says, cuidado con el elbow. He didn't know how to say elbow in Spanish.
Beautiful jab work here by Tapia. Julio bouncing around, coming forward. A beautiful twisting right hand by Tapia gets the crowd rocking at the bell.
Cálmate, concéntrate en lo que te está diciendo. Cálmate lo tuyo. Mira, Eliezer, está pasando lo siguiente. Él te está recibiendo con golpes. Usted tiene que recibirlo cuando lo tenga encima. Suelte golpe de aquí arriba.
Here we're going to take a look at Tapia on the inside, stuffing that jab and almost dropping Julio. Julio just ran right into it. Later on, Julio's coming back. He's applying a lot of pressure. This is when he's at his most effective. Hits Tapia with the right hand. Did you hear Tapia digs one to the body? But Julio doesn't stop coming. One goes maybe a little south of the border as Tom. We're going to get a look now. There's the elbow. They just, both of them.
Oh, look at that.
Throwing it. Well,
what was that?
They both threw two blatant elbows.
Yeah, what do you mean?
It's foul fest.
Julio hasn't lost in more than 6 years, but this could arguably be the toughest competition he's had yet. His last loss, a decision to Junior Jones, October 23rd, 1993.
Neither one of them won this fight yet. This is up for grabs. This is a fight where the champion is coming on, and as Bobby says, he looks like the stronger of the two, even though he's been belabored by accurate shots by Tapia.
There have been no knockdowns thus far in this fight. A couple of headbutts early, a 1-point deduction for an elbow from Jorge Julio in round 7.
That 1-point deduction could be used. It could loom large as this fight gets closer.
Huge, because he took the round. I gave him a 10-8 round. That's a big, big thing.
The online, it's still a shutout. 8-0 Tapia. Rounds 2, 3, 5 were close in the voting. Here's a straight left hand by Julio, right on the nose of Tapia.
But Tapia landed a shotgun jab. And, oh, that's a hook.
There's a beautiful left hook to the
shots in. He really is.
And he's dancing around.
It's target practice right now.
And at times he doesn't walk backpedaling.
I think for the first time I see frustration on the face of the champion.
Another left hook by Tapia to the head of Julio.
He's frustrated. He's tired of coming on and not getting it.
Combination by Julio.
Nice right hand by the champion.
But these shots by Tapia are taking the steam out of Julio's punches. The beautiful jabs by Tapia. That right hand was blocked by Tapia. Break! Hold it. Julio looking very frustrated right now. Champion just can't seem to catch up to the faster, more elusive challenger, Johnny Tapia.
Julio was right. Speed would be a factor, but it wouldn't be hitting his favor.
Tapia in tremendous condition. We're deep into the fight, round 9, and he's dancing around like it's round 1.
And the champion's taking this round off. He hasn't been swarming like he had in the others. Finally, to catch him.
A look away left hook, a no-look punch by Johnny Tapia. He looked like Jason Kidd on that one with a no-look pass. That was beautiful, and he is a huge basketball fan.
Oh, nice shot. Tapia again with his educated left hand. He's beating a tattoo on the champion's face.
He is just wearing Julio out here with about 20 seconds left in round 9.
This is a good round for Tapia.
Doesn't seem to be much on those Julio punches right now.
Again, that jab has kept the champion on balance all night long, and it's become a power punch for Tapia as the champion runs into it.
Blood coming from the left nostril of Julio. Oh, pulverizing shots. Tapia keeps on shooting rights as Julio complained to the ref. He says, keep fighting.
Well, let's see what they say in the corner if we can. Let's pick up the corner. Let's see what he's complaining about.
Deep breath, JT. Okay, that's very good, JT. But I think the round's too close. It's too close. I need more combinations, okay? Johnny, you've got to get a little bit busier. Those rounds are too close out there. You hear me, son? Okay. 3, 4 legs. JT, stay focused. Stay focused, Johnny. Johnny. 3, 4 punch.
La mano aquí, la derecha. ¿Estamos bien, sí o no?
He's dying. Keep him with the right hand.
Entonces no lo dejes.
He's stronger than me, he just said.
Mucho aire. Dale aire. Bastante.
The fighter said he's stronger than me.
Hay que meter las manos.
You got to lift your hands. You got to move your hands.
Por favor. Colombia te está esperando y tus hijas también. Tú eres grande, Eliecer.
You got to get tough. You're losing the fight.
Aire, aire.
At the end of the round, Julio complaining.
But I'll tell you what happened every time Tapia complained, Julio stepped back and let him complain. When the champion complained, Tapia stepped in and hit him well. Protect yourself at all time. Instruction number 1.
Timeout being called by the referee, Mike Ortega.
There's no rule that says you can't hit the man while he's complaining.
Right.
Tapia complained, champion did nothing. Champion complained, Tapia teed off on him.
And Tapia has every right to do that, as long as the referee doesn't step in. We continue round 10 now.
The corner seemed to think that Tapia was all finished, that he was tired, but I think the slower punches and the slower pace right now is being put forth by the champion.
Julio had the right idea for a couple of rounds there. He was trying anything to take Tapia out of his game. It may have worked for a while, but Tapia is back. He is really back. Look at him now. He's almost toying with the champion, taunting him to some degree.
See, what Tapia does too is he throws a little shoulder feint, and what that does is freeze the champion. Champion stops in his track, thinking a punch is coming, and Tapia can do whatever he wants.
Tapia looks to be in a zone right now. He is bursting with confidence. He looks almost as if he feels he can do anything. But he's got to be very careful with the strong champion.
See, the champion's not stepping with the jab as much. He's throwing it out there and bringing it back to the same place instead of stepping with the leg and the body behind it like Tapia. That's why Tapia's being so much more effective with a power jab. He steps in behind it.
Tapia now in total command. Goes to the body, then to the head. Julio just doesn't seem to know what to do midway through the 10th. Julio looks dazed and confused right now.
Well, he certainly looks confused. Certainly looks confused, but I think there's a fatigue thing, not so much a daze, but a tired.
He's exhausted. He's taken a lot of punishment here. That's worn him out. Tapia walks into a straight right, but he says it didn't hurt him.
See how Tapia steps with that jab?
Dancing around, a little slippery spot there on the ring canvas. Look at these left jabs being shot forward by Tapia. As you would put it, a shotgun jab, then a left right.
Johnny Tapia steps in with his punches, and Julio doesn't react well. The speed is too big a factor, and Julio punches from the outside and stays there.
Tapia looks like a 25-year-old kid here.
He looks like he's found a style that he likes from the outside, just jinking and faking with his shoulders and coming in when he wants to. Worked very well last round. It's working very well this round.
Boy, that shotgun jab working to perfection by Tapia. Julio missing with that combination attempt. Back comes a combination by Tapia. Look out, ref.
And away goes Tapia.
And Julio hits nothing.
Champion is a picture of frustration. He is frustrated.
And the challenger a picture of confidence.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Coming up on Showtime. In exactly 3 weeks, we head across the Atlantic to Manchester, England, where Mike Tyson fights for the first time in Europe. The former undisputed heavyweight champion takes on British heavyweight champ Julius Francis. Also on the card, WBO super middleweight champion Joe Calzaghe makes his debut on American television as he faces number 7 contender David Starry. That's Saturday, January 29th, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific.
Don't let him come with momentum. Side to side, keep turning him. Stay focused. Just take your game plan.
I'm getting it back, baby.
What did you best?
I box.
You box. That's what we're gonna do out there, right? Give him a boxing lesson. You hear me? He's dead tired. Okay. Don't forget your body shots. Okay. He's hurting out there. Don't forget your body shots. Okay.
Good advice from Freddie Roach. Don't forget your body shots because Julio's hurt. We begin round 11. We enter the championship rounds. We'll see how much the champion has left in him. Well, he looks like he really has to dig deep down, Jorge Julio, for these last 2 rounds.
See, now he's starting to step with the champion. He's reaching John.
Tapia starts out in deliberate fashion. Julio going down low, so Tapia goes low.
He almost slipped onto his knee.
Well, from what the corner is telling him, what Freddie's telling him, and from what we see, you know, Tapia's in danger of thinking this thing's gone. He's got it won. All he's got to do is get confident and go on. That could be a mistake. I mean, this guy is still the champion. Tapia has to keep focused, and he has to keep thinking, hey, this is a close fight. I gotta go some. I don't think it's a close fight.
Some of the mid-rounds were very close, and depending on how you viewed it, could go the other way.
The champion Jorge Elecier Julio looking for a second win. How much does he have left? Oh, he just walked in to a right hand by Johnny Tapia, right on the left jaw.
Last 2 rounds have been a boxing lesson from standing outside, feinting with his shoulders, coming in with combination, moving away again, bending over. Everything you want to see in a fighter, you see in Tapia here.
See, what you can see too here is Tapia is so quick and has been so accurate that every time he moves, the champion has to react to it.
Big overhand right by the champion, but it didn't seem to take much out of Tapia. He just kind of shrugged it off.
And one and done. He only throws one, but every time Tapia moves, the champion reacts, which doesn't allow him to get back in his offensive mode.
Now Julio picking up the tempo just a bit. Oh! Combination to the head by Julio, but Tapia showing the chin.
And this is what we're talking about. You can't get overconfident. You start getting gone. Now, he's got a great chin. But a lot of guys with great chins have been touched on the right button and gone down. So you got to be in this fight to the very last bell.
And normally Julio is very strong. I just don't know how much he's got left here. How much impact those punches have. But Julio trying to load up, and Tapia just zips him with those jabs. Those pesky jabs that have taken its toll on Julio all night. Julio's coming back with a couple of punches there, but digging left uppercuts to the body by Tapia. Those have to hurt.
Tapia can dig to the body.
Oh, beautiful. See that slip? He slipped.
Watch his shoulder.
Jab by Julio on the right hand.
Here comes Tapia all over Julio.
Triple right hand, Steve.
Then he takes a step back to admire his work.
That sometimes is a mistake.
As long as you step back far enough. Another right hand by Tapia. Again, Tapia now landing at will repeatedly. We're 11 rounds complete.
You know, Tapia just tapped gloves with Julio. That's one thing I never understood. Here guys are trying to beat each other to death. For 11 rounds, they tapped gloves to say hello.
No, 10 segundos lo estamos perdiendo.
Es el último round, Eliezer. Hay que tirar todo, no hay que quedarse con nada porque después nos arrepentimos, ¿ok? Está cansado.
Yeah, all three of them are in agreement that they've got to come up and get a knockout. They've got they're losing here.
No te desconcentres, Eliezer. No te desconcentres por nada. No te desconcentres que lo.
Don't disconcert yourself. Don't get frustrated. Stay on him.
Do not let him get momentum. Okay? I love you guys, both.
Johnny Tapia, boxing smart from the outside, throws a multiple combination. We talked about earlier, follow-up combination, and there, double right hand, not allowing Julio to come back to him. Once again, making a miss, jab, sticks the jab in his face, gets inside, makes a miss, fires, 6-punch combination. Boxing smart from the inside and the outside. Johnny Tapia.
They touch gloves. Look, Tapia extends an embrace. Touch gloves again. 10 seconds left in the round, I think, after all that. Unbelievable. Now a little stoppage of the action, and finally the referee says, let's go. Julio, for the record, does not have a 12th round knockout to his credit, and it looks like he'll need one here if he wants to return to Colombia with the belt.
You know, they say hell has no fury like a woman scorned, but also has no fury like a fighter with something to prove. Johnny Tapia putting on a great exhibition.
He wanted to show that after losing a title, you can win one back, and he wants to end in a flurry. There have been no knockdowns. And the chance of Johnny from this near sellout crowd here at the Pit in Albuquerque, where Tapia comes in 14-0 in his hometown. He won his first world title here in this very building at the Pit in Albuquerque, and he wants to win his 4th here in just a matter of minutes.
Hey, keep him up, keep him up. Súbelo, súbelo.
It's been a foul-plagued fight, but it's been one dominated by Johnny Tapia. Halfway through the final round for the title. Tapia unloading with the straight right hand.
A triple straight right hand, Stevie. Held his left hand up by his cheek, guarded himself with it, and threw right hand, and right hand, almost as if to dare Julio to do something about it.
3 straight shots. Well, when do you see that?
And Julio just stood there and took it. Nothing to offer back. There's nothing in those punches by Julio. He is worn out, one worn out champion who probably has a minute left to wear the belt.
Hands are free, hands are free. Let's go.
Well, this crowd will start erupting as the final seconds tick down. Being urged on by Johnny Tapia.
Keep him up, watch it.
I wouldn't want to be in the building.
Finishing with a flourish, Johnny Tapia, as the decibel level rises again.
Watch your head, cuidado con la cabeza, cuidado. Wait. Hold it.
We approach the final 20 seconds. Tapia playing to the crowd.
He's actually done less playing to the crowd in this fight than he has done in a long time.
And we'll see if he does one of his patented backflips at the end of the fight.
Well, he's entitled to this time.
His nose is starting to bleed a little too now.
And that's it. Here it is. The backflip by Johnny Tapia. Almost missed with it, but he made it. It's all hugs and kisses for Johnny Tapia. His highly regarded trainer, Freddie Roach. He's got members of his family in the corner. Of course, his loving wife, Teresa, his manager, for whom he owes so much after such a turbulent life. And there's Jorge Julio, who ends the fight like he started it, chanting to the sky.
Well, you know what? He was chanting the first time. He was smiling a whole lot brighter than that smile. That was almost a kind of a perfunctory smile. He just phoned it in.
What's your score, Bobby?
I have it 118 to 100. I have it 9 rounds to 2 and 1 even. But the 2-point round for the extra point taken off.
I agree.
And some of these fans got in free for turning in their guns, a program instituted by Johnny Tapia as a way of giving something back to the community. At last count, 57 guns dropped off to the Albuquerque police.
You're kidding. What a nice talk.
Yeah, it's very nicely done by Johnny Tapia trying to give back. I love you, Albuquerque. Johnny says that 6 bullets each. If that saves 1 life, it's worth it.
We're going to take a look at some replays here. Johnny Tapia, oh so accurate with his punches all night long, snapping the head back. There's a lead right hand, a second right hand, and he's just standing there staring him off. A third right hand eventually came right down the pike and hit the champion Julio again. It's another angle. There's the right hand. There's another right hand snapping his head back, and the third right hand, which didn't really land as cleanly. But you should never be able to get away with that. That is just interesting. And the backflip, ever the showman, is Johnny Tapia.
So Johnny Tapia awaits the decision.
I need to give me a kiss, man. We did this without getting
And we're about set to send it on up to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
And gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. The judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Judge at ringside, Manuel Maritzalar, scores about 118 to 109. Judge Jose Rivera scores about 116 to 111. Judge Luis Martinez scores about 119 to 108. All 3 in favor of the winner and the new WBO Bantamweight Champion of the World, Johnny Tapia.
Steve, I had it 118, 110. They were all right on line.
Decisive, unanimous decision for Johnny Tapia. A successful homecoming, showing the belt to his hometown fans. His 4th world championship. And he gets to do it in Albuquerque. He bounces back from his first defeat. 15-1 in world title fights. 15-0 here in Albuquerque. So it's going to be a night of celebration for Johnny Tapia. Goes to 47-1-2. Meantime, Jorge Julio deposed after 3 successful defenses. Only his 2nd loss in 44 fights. The last loss to Junior Jones back in 1993. Let's hear more from Jim Gray. Jim, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Johnny Tapia, congratulations to you. Johnny, after your loss, did you question that you might not have the fire? You were scared in the locker room before, and you had told us that a lot of great fighters can't come back after a loss. How concerned were you?
Well, first of all, I'd like to give a lot of thanks and praise. Would you do me one big favor while we're in there? Please? Would you say sorry to Pete Rose? Please?
It's got nothing to do with this, Johnny Tapia. You want to address the fight?
First of all, I'd like to say thanks to God. This is es un bueno campeón, the best champion in the world. I fought a great fight. I'd just like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity. Gracias para la altura. Yo gané.
Translate for us, Johnny.
I told him, thank you for the opportunity that he gave me. He's a hell of a great champion, hard hitter, and I'm just happy to win the title again. He says he won.
You feel you won the fight, Julio?
Yo gané.
I won the fight. I won the fight.
No hay más nada que decir. Gané.
I don't feel there's anything else to say. I feel I
Me
won.
quitaron un punto que nunca existió.
Said they took a point
Él
away
me
from me
pegó
that
el
didn't ever
cabezazo
exist.
y me lo quitaron.
He was leaning in with his head.
Pero todo eso está bien.
But it's
Él me
okay.
la supo hacer. Okay, está bien.
It's his time.
Would you like to fight again?
¿Quieres pelear otra vez?
Si él me da la oportunidad, yo creo que sí, cómo no.
If he gives us the
yo pienso
opportunity,
que
of
somos
course.
dos campeones que necesitamos de
We're
cada
two
quien.
great champions who need each other.
Okay. I'd like to give a lot of thanks to Frank Warren for putting me on the show. I couldn't have did it without him for being a promoter. I'd like to give a lot of thanks to Frank Warren and also to the state of New Mexico and also to the whole world. You can't keep a good man down, boss.
Back to the original question. Were you concerned that you might not be able to have the fire? A lot of great fighters can't come back after that first loss. You were concerned about that, weren't you?
I've always been down in life, and I've always been able to pick up myself. You know, everybody has counted me out in life. All the prayers that everybody gave me brought me back from a tough world that I've lived in. And I'm just very, very happy.
What next?
I'm going to relax. I didn't have a Christmas. Jim, I didn't have a Christmas. I didn't have a New Year's. I'm going to have one tonight.
All right, Johnny, congratulations. Back to you, Steve.
Thank you very much, Jim Gray. And I know a lot of people would love to see Johnny Tapia in a rematch with Paulie Ayala, but Johnny says unless he renews his promotional contract with promoter Bob Arum, he feels he'll never get, Tapia says he'll never get the rematch with Paulie Ayala. Let's check the online scoring results from our main event. And there it is, a shutout for Johnny Tapia as far as the folks at home are concerned. 12 rounds to nothing. If you took part, we thank you for your participation. We are back ringside. Steve Albert along with the fight doctor Ferdy Pacheco will be joined again by Bobby in just a second. Well, Tapia has done it. He proves that after losing a title, he can come back and win. Now he says he wants to move up to 122 pounds. The big guns up there are Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera. Those would be scorchers.
They would be scorchers. Anybody he fights is a scorcher. That's the type of guy he is. He's explosive. He's there all the time to fight. He is one of the premier fighters because he pleases the public when he fights. And when you got a guy like that, he can fight anybody.
All right, let's turn to Bobby Chez, our other partner here. Where does Jorge Elecier Julio, the former champion, go from this point on?
Well, he's clearly still a great fighter and a terrific former champion. He has ability. He has skills. He's not too old to continue. He either goes after another title or maybe, just maybe, he moves up to 122 and he sees Tapia again at a later date for a different title.
Now, you may have gone into this fight thinking that Johnny Tapia would win. You know, he's got the home crowd advantage and maybe because of his skill level, better than Jorge Elecier Julio. Did you think he would win this convincingly?
I thought he would win similarly to what we had here. I thought it might be a little closer. Julio started to close the gap. He started to shut the distance down and not give Johnny boxing room and use his strength on the inside and wear Johnny down a little bit in the middle rounds. But he got away from it. It's a very tiring pace, very physical thing to do, hard to do, and he couldn't keep it up. But I thought that it would be similar to this, not quite as one-sided.
Now, there are a lot of options out there as far as Johnny Tapia is concerned. A fight perhaps again with Paulie Ayala, but he says that won't happen unless he renews with Bob Arum. He could move up to 122 and go after Barrera or Morales. What do you think is going to happen? You're looking into your crystal ball.
Well, my crystal ball just says Johnny Tapia is going to move up. I think he's totally finished starving himself and draining himself of fluids to make 118. I think 122 is going to be a lot safer for him, health-wise, a lot more comfortable for him. But they punch a little harder up there, but he still maintains. If he can bring that speed up with him, is always going to be a big factor. And his follow-up combination, something he does better than most fighters I've ever seen. He'll throw 5 or 6 punches and throw 5 or 6 more before you have a chance to set or reset or react to them. That's a Johnny Tapia key to victory in all fights.
All right, let me turn to my right again for our other partner here. A little broadcast ping pong. The fight doctor Ferdy Pacheco. What do you think was the key to victory for Tapia tonight? The fact that he stayed cool, he composed himself?
I think his relentless pace, the fact that he didn't lose his temper and get into one of those ugly shootouts that he gets into, and the fact that he had a plan. He stuck to it. It was working for him. The other guys started coming on. He goes right back to boxing beautifully, takes the guts right out of him because that end last 4 or 5 rounds where he boxed from outside, that took the guts right out of the champion. He couldn't do anything. So I felt that Tapia did what he started out to do, and that is good enough to get him the championship.
All right, Ferdy, right now let's close things out. We take a look at our highlights of both fights that you saw here from the pit in Albuquerque. And Doc, we begin with Botha Panell, and it didn't last very long.
Well, and we begin and end in a few seconds because this was nothing of an opponent for this guy, and he just took him apart like what he is, a victim.
A knockout for the former IBF heavyweight champion against a professional opponent, a journeyman by the name of Steve Panell. This was easy pickings for Francois Botha. And in our main event, we just saw it brought the house down for Johnny Tapia.
Johnny Tapia wanted to make a statement, and he said he had to box smart, not just from the inside, but from the outside. He worked both sides of the fence, southpaw, and he worked righty, He worked better as a righty against the southpaw because the champion also switched. There were some dirty tactics which were not nice for either of the fighters, but Johnny Tapia made a statement. Very accurate, very workmanlike, and he got the job done, Steve.
Yes, he did. As we take a look at a final recap of the results, Francois Botha adding a W to his ring record by beating journeyman fighter Steve Panell, a first-round knockout. And in the main event, hometown favorite Johnny Tapia sent the fans home happy, able to rebound from his first career loss to become a world champion once again. Coming up on Showtime, exactly 3 weeks from tonight, we'll be in Manchester, England, to bring you former undisputed heavyweight champion Mike Tyson in his first fight since his controversial incident with Orland Norris. This time Tyson takes on British heavyweight champion Julius Francis. Also on the card, WBO super middleweight champ Joe Calzaghe makes his first American television appearance as he faces number 7 contender David Starry. That's Saturday, January 29th, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Then on Saturday, February 12th, a world-class doubleheader as WBC super lightweight champion Kostya Tszyu will make the first defense of his title against number 7 contender Ahmed Santos. And a rising star, the interim IBF junior welterweight champion, number 1 contender Zab Judah takes on number 3 contender Jan Bergman with a vacant IBF junior welterweight crown. That's live Saturday, February 12th, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. That'll do it for another edition of Showtime Championship Boxing. We hope you enjoyed it. See you again in 3 weeks from England with Mike Tyson. For the Fight Doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, Bobby Ches, Jim Gray, our entire crew, Steve Albert saying so long from Albuquerque, New Mexico.